Yo, what's up, everybody? This your boy, Food Junkie, and I just want to come at you this morning after been on these YouTube streets for a while now, and people have really, not really been going into it or going in depth about it, and just basically doing their own thing about it. But we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it this morning. I briefly touched on it yesterday, last evening in my live, but that was more of a joke aspect, just to talk about what the hell's been going on the YouTube streets yesterday. But today I'm going to take a little serious turn to a little serious note. Let's talk about the racism and what else can I say about it? The racism on this channel. What's up, my two cents? Good morning. How are you doing? We know yesterday, um, Jay Wilson had a live. And on that live, one of the panel members that was on the screen last thing was a person by the name of Devolving Culture. Devolving Culture is someone who has been on these streets for a while, at least for the past several months. The person basically has called black people monkeys, the N word, and all kind of things of that nature. And this person is of non-black descent. And what's up, the Real Connection Show, baby? How you doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. And basically, the Devolving Culture is a known racist individual on these YouTube streets. They are basically trying to point out things and in a disparaging way that they feel and or think pertains to the black experience, from the people, from the way people move, and things of that nature, and have been very critical of black people in a very disparaging way. So Jay Wilson decided to have this individual. I guess he's also known as Jason or whatever case may be. I don't know. And also allegedly is one of the wrenches as well. So Jay Wilson had this individual on his panel. And when Jay Wilson had this individual on his panel, Kwani was also on, the panel as well. And so basically, Kwani basically is like, why am I here? Why you have him on here as me was not? Do you know who he is? You know his backstory. You know he's racist, things of that nature. And basically, Jay Wilson's like, well, whatever, whatever, whatever. Y'all saying the same things over and over again in the chat. And then he became very, very dismissive and very, very antagonistic and very, very belligerent toward Kwani. Because as we know, Kwani is the person who is going to speak her mind, I should say, going to be able to, good morning, so blessed, how you doing, big? Going to be able to just stand her ground with whoever she wants to talk to, and she's just going to say what she wants to say. But this devolving culture character was very belittling, very, you know, um, dismissive. And not only that, what kind of irks me is this. What are you going to do for a coin? What are you going to do? How far are you going to go in order for you to realize that what you're doing is not helping, but hurting? Not only you and your brand, but the culture as a whole. At one point, you need to stop looking at what's going to go into your pocket and actually think about what's going into your spirit, your soul, your experience as a human being. And one of the major problems I have with Jay Wilson, because like I said, I don't know this individual personally, but what I see of this individual in my observation is that this person thinks that everything revolves around money. And that comes from the experience of never having or longing for or feeling that it's not enough. And when you have those type of feelings and those type of emotions and that type of background where you feel that you have to struggle and grab onto and hold on tight to every single dime that you have was not, it leads you to do things and behave in ways that a rational person who is open and willing to give and accept things was not wouldn't do. Now, me as a black man, I would not allow a nauseate or try to demean someone of the Black experience, the Black culture. That's be it, nor will I allow another Black person to do the same thing, not in my presence. I'm not going to sit idly by and allow someone to antagonize, belittle, and demean someone of the Black race. I don't care who you are, be it you're a Black person, be you or an other. And the conversation that I wanted to have today is with on those lines because it seems as though we as Black people choose to allow others to demean us as long as it's for a coin or if it is for the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of mentality or something along those lines. At some point, we need to start standing up for ourselves and realizing that, really the only thing that people can do to us is what we allow them to do. And yesterday, Jay Wilson allowed devolving culture to try to humiliate, try to belittle, try to demean, try to embarrass basically Kwani by the way he used, by the language he used, by who he was previously. And if Wilson say he doesn't care about who what he did previously was not, my point is this: that's the problem. If you don't recognize and try to correct past grievances and past things, you're bound to repeat those things over and over again. And the fact that you allow this person to speak to, you know, someone on your platform that way says a lot about you and your ability to respect and appreciate who we are as a people. Devolving culture, let's dissect that name for a second. To devolve basically is to go backwards. To devolve is basically to bring to a halt and regress, reverse. That's why I always say, have people behaviors has it been evolved, which is to move forward, or devolved? And the fact that someone chooses the name devolving culture and choose to be come onto a sector where there is predominantly African American people and write and do disparaging things towards African American people is not tells me in itself that this individual don't first of all like Black people, don't care for Black people was not, and want Black people to be in a space where we're not elevated and we're not evolving. Now, you can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do. You can be who you want to be. What's up, Bird Bird? How you doing, baby? Miss Perspective Pet, how you doing, sweetheart? And the fact that you have another Black man who's supposed to be a doctor, full of education, full of insight and wisdom, so they say, can't recognize or can't see past the potential of making money. And you can say it creates a debate, was not, but that last night wasn't a debate. Last night you looked foolish. Last night you looked crazy. Last night you looked like you were just out for the clicks and views. You were not trying to elevate the conversation. You were not trying to elevate someone's opinion or get an understanding of what the opinion were. Your problem is that you think that you know everything and you're always right, and you can't be taught or you can't learn something from someone that you deem less than you far as educational wise. But every time you take on that mantle, take on that situation, you basically show us that you're not worthy. What's up, Felicia Fee, baby? Lena, how you doing, sweetheart? You show us that you are not so blessed. How you doing, baby? You show us that you are not where you say you are. And no matter how much this individual, your actions speak so much louder than your words do. Your actions is something that shows us, well, someone who actually thinks and actually sees and who actually critically thinks and critically sees and critically listens, that you are so damaged in your psyche that you must be able to put someone else down or put someone else at a lower level than what you think they are in order for you to feel higher and you feel good about yourself. Now, as a black man, as an educated black man, it bothered me because you, another quote unquote educated black man, chose to look past all of the evidence in which this individual is a proven person that do not like black people. I don't want to say racist because, you know what I'm saying, that's a really strong word, but it's proven that this person doesn't like black people. This person thinks less than about the black race, the black culture, but choose to dwell in this culture, in this sector, in order to cause chaos and confusion. This isn't me coming at you, or this isn't me screaming and yelling and trying to belittle you, was not, sir. It's me asking you, what is your purpose? What was your purpose in having an individual such as that on your platform? Not only to have that on your platform was not because you do what you want to do on your platform, but to have that individual on your platform and have that individual berate and degrade another black individual. What was your purpose in that? At what point do you feel that you accomplish anything? What's up, Inner Hero baby? How you doing? What point do you feel that you accomplished something? Well, it is, but like I said, my thing is, I'm not going to sit here and throw out labels on people. It's not because I don't know this person's insight. I can say what they did is basically racist. I can say what they've been promoting is racist, but I can't say okay, that's individual is that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I just don't do that. That's not what I do. You know, because we like to label people as not, but then we get offended when people want to label us. So I can't be a hypocrite in that aspect if that makes sense. You know, and I can be upset. Well, it's not. But the thing is, I haven't had a conversation with this individual. Like, side note, you guys, I've had conversations with skinheads. I have had conversations with Nazis before, and what we see these people as today is not what a Nazi was originated as, or a skinhead was originated as. The term now is a very racist, very um, degenerative statement, but the origination of those two things was not. After doing some research on it, was not took on a totally different meaning with Hitler. Made things, you know what I'm saying, a little bit worse. I mean, made things a lot worse than what they actually originated as. So for me, just to call someone a racist is not me actually having a conversation with that individual, but just going by what is out there in the atmosphere, was not, and speaking on emotion. And I try not to do that too often, especially when topics are kind of serious like this. But back to what I was saying. I was just kind of left in the what's the word, a state of confusion after actually sitting back and actually listening to some of the conversation that was had on your platform involving this individual, and watching and seeing how this individual is responding to people and how this individual is trying to um, downgrade and belittle people's comments and concerns or it's not and people's opinions, but yet at the same time trying to uplift themselves, and you doing nothing in a process to control that or make it an even playing field in stating what you may truly feel, if you feel that way whatsoever. You may have the same ideas as this individual have, but at the same time, you know, what's up, everybody who came in the chat? You guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. It just bothers me. But speaking on that as well, we have people, individuals in this sector who make comments such as calling or saying, I'm using my white card today, I'm using my black card today, I had a black card before, whatever, whatever. That right there in itself, and people are accepting these people. People are letting these people get away with that as because they think that it's funny, or they think that because they're attacking someone of that you don't like. I say this all the time. At what point do you feel that you are special? Because when they get mad at you, guess what you're going to be? You're going to be a roach. You're going to be a monkey. You're going to be a derogatory racial slur that they spew out on this line. And if you're not upset or bothered by them calling someone else that, you can expect someone to be bothered or upset when they call you the same thing, when the tides turn and now you're their target. Now you're the individual that is being called a roach. Now you're the individual that's being called a negative, derogatory racial slur. It makes no sense that when we hear things that is not right, that is wrong, because we choose to like someone or we choose to like what they do every once in a while, that we're accepting of all of their behavior. The problem here on this YouTube thing in this sector that I see is that we are willing to look past the negativity. We're willing to look past the bigotry. We choose to look past the ill words and ill intent of words because it's not affecting us per se, and it's going to get someone that we may not like or have or had a disagreement with, opposed to calling right and wrong. Now, the term racist, let's be extremely clear about what that is. A racist individual have the power to change a culture, have power to do hiring, where schools and stuff is going, where money is allocated. That's what racists do when you affect someone of a different culture. Was not. Now, black people cannot be racist because we don't have power to do that. I don't care how much money we have. I don't care how much influence we may have. We really, truly don't have the power to govern, to make ourselves as a culture better. We can't be racist. Now, we can be prejudiced. We can prejudge. We can assume. We can, make disparaging remarks. But the true definition of racism is being a racist person is being able to change the culture as a whole. And we can't do that as black people. So therefore, in fact, we cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced. We can have ill feelings and ill will towards a culture. But until we have the power to drastically and dramatically affect that culture that's other than our own, we cannot be racist. Now, I don't care who wants to argue this point. I don't care what you want to say. That's the reality. The reality is that black people cannot be racist. We can be prejudiced. We can have ill will towards a different culture. We can even do things as far as physical was not. But we cannot be racist as a people. Now, that being said, we know the people on here who are out there spreading disparaging words and being supported with these words because those words are being said against someone that someone else doesn't like. You can do what you want to do. You can respond and behave how you want to respond and behave. But the reality is, you're not special. Because if someone is willing to call someone else a disparaging remark or a disparaging name or try to feed into this negative stereotype that they may have for someone, like I say, it's only a matter of time before you do something or say something against that individual where you become that roach, that monkey, that whatever else, that N word was not, whatever else that someone chooses and deems to call you. No one says to outright there, but you can pull people aside and ask them questions to find out where their mindset is at, find out what is going on with them, to find out what it is they're that you choose to use this specific, I should say, derogatory name to address a black person you don't like. Having conversations like that is something that we need to start having, was not, and stop just to picking up, sticking up for people because we like them. You can like someone all you want, whatever, but it doesn't mean that you have to like all of their ways and what they do. That's where discernment comes in. That's when you say, okay, I like you as an individual, is not, but I don't like this about you. Can you please help me understand this aspect of your personality? We're so afraid to have that conversation with each other, was not, and when we do or question something, was not, it's as if someone done shot your dog. It's not that serious. What's serious is allowing behaviors that is affecting us as a culture to continue without questioning, thinking that it's okay. It's not okay for you to sit um, back and allow someone to do something that affects a people as a whole, even if it is just an idea, because ideas come into fruition to where they become damaging and hurtful to a people. The fact that people sit here and allow people to use racial slurs as if that it is just something that, okay, this is what they do. No, it's not what they do when you choose to try to have them explain their behavior. When you ask someone to explain their behavior, was not, you see who they really are. You see what they really think, was not. Because if you're using a disparaging racial um, slur, but you can explain where you're coming from, was not, that tells me as a person who thinks critically, was not, where you stand and what you think of me. Especially if you say that we're quote unquote cool or some quote unquote friends. You cannot say that we're cool or we're friends, but yet when I ask you for an explanation of something that I don't understand about you, you get offended. Because that tells me that you think that you're too good to be questioned. You're too good to be having to explain yourself or reiterate or to elaborate on what it is that you are feeling, what you're thinking. As if you are too good to. You're right, my 2 cents. Some people is they go against what they feel naturally, just to go along to get along. And as y'all know, I'm not one of those people. I give two shits about what people would think of me, if you like me or if you don't like me, what's not. Because y'all know what I say. If you're for me, you're for me. If you're not, you're against me. It is what it is. It's very black and white with me. If I have a question, I'm gonna ask the question. If you get offended by the question, that's your problem, not mine. What's up, Nanny Pooh baby? How you doing? I can't sit up here and worry and live my life worrying about what you think. I can't sit up here and live my life and worry about what someone else is going to do. You know what I'm saying? If I don't understand something, was not, that's why I ask questions. I ask questions for understanding. I ask questions to get a clearer meaning and clearer understanding of what's going on. I'm not asking questions because I just want to sit here and play with you all day and hear myself speak. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people. And if you say something that's I deem negative towards a black culture, was that I'm going to ask you a question. There are going to be questions asked by me because I'm not going to sit here and allow someone, especially someone of non African American descent, to question or to speak ill or to talk negatively about the black culture. How am I going to look sitting up here, was not allowing someone of non African American descent, was not, to say something negative about a black person, especially in front of my face, as if it's okay. It's not okay. I don't allow it. I won't allow it if I happen to be in that environment. Now, I can't speak to people that I don't speak to. I can speak about what they have done, but ignorance is going to be ignorance regardless. And the reality, expect them to get better. How can we expect us to work together to make this thing a better place? When we sit up here and act as if we are above reproach and we don't want to make waves, that's how things are allowed to continue to go the way they are going. Was not, and the way that things are going in this country right now is crazy. It's from the top down. There's legislation being put out right now that affects us as African American people. Was not, that's going to hold us back, and we don't understand that. We're not being involved in that. We think that it's fun just to get on YouTube and talk a bunch of mess, and no one supposed to question us, which my two sisters said, or have a sense of entitlement. That's what that is. You think that you have the right to treat people any kind of way because how you may look or how you may be perceived in this world. It's on the color of your skin or maybe the texture of your hair or the amount of melanin or lack of melanin you have in your skin. Now, really, they've never discussed this before. When an individual on here says, "Well, they can turn on their white and black whatever they want to," but clearly in the arrest report you had, it said you were white, and you still got arrested, and there's still a bench warrant out for you, and you still got caught stealing from Dollar Tree or Dollar General, wherever the fuck you stole from. Opposed to sitting in your car eating ice cream and ice every day and putting on makeup with a cloudy lens on your camera phone. Maybe you should try to do something better for yourself. Maybe you should try to do something better that helps the world as a whole, opposed to saying doing what you're doing. Trying to go ahead and what's up, Miss Deanna? What's up, the voice? How you doing, baby? No, is that nothing? It's just that I actually went back and truly watched and listened to Jay Wilson's live yesterday. Was not, and it was the devolving culture pretty much. I don't pretty much too care for Kwani too much, but I'm not gonna allow her to be disrespected by nobody, especially somebody that's white, especially someone who is a known person to have discriminating views towards black people. What's up, wifey type baby? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Regardless if I like somebody or not, what's not. I'm not gonna let a black person be disrespected by a non-black person. That's not gonna happen. Not on my watch. You know, and people have this mentality of that. Oh well, oh you get somebody that I don't like, so therefore it's a good thing. No, it's not a good thing, because that could be me next week. That could be me tomorrow. That could be me in the next 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't stick up or take up for if I don't stick up or take up for people of the black race, who am I to ask for someone to stick up and take up for me? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say this whole the enemy of my enemy is my friend thing. No, it's not with me. Right is right and wrong is wrong, as I see it. And people make their own decisions based on who they are and what they do and what they believe. But I'm making this decision based on me knowing that, well, me hearing that this person have said racial and racist things and have been accused of being a racist was not, and have proven to have disparaging comments and thoughts and ideas towards black people was not. Now we have this black man who's supposed to be educated was not only educated but a spiritual leader, you know what I'm saying, which we know is not quite there anyway, but that's not the story all of itself, allowing this perceived alleged racist person to attack and demean another black woman, regardless of if I like them or not. You're not going to sit up here and have me think that, just to create money, to create some bullshit for people to talk about. That was the purpose right there. It is not. There was no purpose. Who? Oh, I'll talk about Jay Wilson. He had devolving culture. I guess his name is Jason. Basically, devolving culture was basically demeaning her, telling her to be quiet and talking just pretty much talking down to her and very derogatory toward her, and Jay Wilson just sit there and let that happen. You know, it was just ridiculous to me. It was just something that wasn't called for. It wasn't warranted, and that's not content. That's some bullshit. Yeah, development culture. He's been around for a long time. He got a lot of notoriety when he basically was calling Tasha K a bunch of black bitches as a white man. You know, and in one part of exactly right, Miss Deanna, exactly. And not only that was not when Jay Wilson was like asking, "What did he ever do to you? What did he ever do to you?" So Kwame basically said, you know, what I'm saying, ask him what did he do to Tasha K. Why was he calling her all kind of black bitches and stuff like that, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it was just real crazy, was not, and then it was just real crazy, and I just think that us as content creators need to be more aware of what we put out there was not, and how we put it out there. You know what I'm saying? If it was a point to that whole live, I could have seen the conversation going the way it went, but that wasn't the point. The point, his whole point was just to create a buzz and content was not. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Exactly. He sure did tell on. He sure did. Like he got up there and basically took control and made a fool out of Jay Wilson and the whole panel was not. And you have this white man up there was not pretty much running this black man's thing. And this black man sitting up there smiling and grinning just because you basically have, yeah, Jay Wilson would do anything, was not. I mean, it just made no sense. Yeah, you so stupid. You so silly. Sweet peanuts. Right. It's all about the few coins. It's all about the clicks and views. Was not what Jay was not. That's what I'm basically asking. What is your integrity worth? What how much are you willing to sell your soul for? It makes no sense. Was not that um everything you do is always revolved around money. And for someone who have so much going on for themselves, well, it's not. So you say you seem to be very, very desperate and very, very thirsty and very, very, saying just parched. It makes no sense was not that you would do anything and everything for a couple of dollars in your pocket was not for a few little clicks on your AdSense check. It makes no sense to me. Integrity zero. You're absolutely right. My 2 cents. What's okay, got a body, baby? How you doing? And welcome to all the other foodies who walked in the building. You guys, welcome. You know, like I just don't understand how someone to be so educated, so you say, and so well versed on how things go and how culturally aware you say you are, and the fact that you went through an HBC you school was that I was gonna say HBIC. HBCU, sorry about that. I'm silly. Because the thing is, I went to Morehouse while I was not, saying? So I know the pride it is to, saying, be at a prestigious black school. He really did show a lack of education last night. And for someone who to be so involved in the HBCUs was not, I don't see it. What the hell is going on now? Ugh. People calling me and shit early in the morning. But yeah, so I just don't understand that was not. I mean, like that in itself is a sense of pride of being able to go to a HBCU was not. And then the fact that you have someone on here making a fool of you and making a mockery of it is just ridiculous to me. He owns a school. He owns a school and a church, Miss Deanna. You know that. It's just. I mean, I just found that it's really ridiculous. Was not. And the conversation that we be having on here sometimes is appropriate, but a lot of times was not. We need to start thinking about what we put out there was not as content creators because it makes no sense that we are look at as a certain way, but yet at the same time, we are we show ourselves in a way that is not the proper light as well. We can't always put everything else on everyone else. We have to also start looking at what we do in order for us to be the best people that we were meant to be. It makes no sense that as Black people was now we allow others, and when I say others, those go to the people who also say they're Black when it's convenient for them to get away with things that they shouldn't be getting away with, saying things that come out their mouth without being checked. Because you can't call me someone who's unemployed and someone who is uneducated was not when you're staying with your mom, you have a bunch of kids by different men, and you don't have a job. I'm just saying, regardless of what color you identify yourself as well as not, you're still trash. Get your own shit, take care of your kids on your own, stay off of public assistance, find a job, and stop just showing you picking up applications at different gas stations. How about showing us you going to an interview? How about showing us when you pull yourself together was not where you are going for a job interview? Show me that. What's up, Mysterious Baby? How you doing? He sure wasn't cussing towards the white guests. That's what I'm saying. Like we choose to try to treat others. I say because it's just not white people was not that have a problem with us. It's the Hispanics. It's the Asians. It's the Indians. It's all of them was not, and we sit there and still frequent their establishments and treat them as if they're somebody special. Shit, I'm the original. Black is the original. Let's put it out there. Let's call a thing a thing. A copy can never tell me I'm less than. A copy can never tell me or make me feel inferior to. I'm the fucking original. I was what Aaron and everyone else have been trying to be. It makes no sense. So we just try to say it's the white people was that no, it's all of them. They're all jealous. They're all upset because we have that they wish they had. We are the people that they want to be. We are the people that they strive and thrive to be. Every time we go somewhere with that, we dominate. We are the original. You can get every other race from a black person with that, but you can't get a black person from every other race. We are the original, and once we start realizing that was not, we'll be a much better people. We'll be in a much better place. You can't tell the original that you're less than me. You can't tell the original that you're worth less than I am. Knowing damn well that everything that we do, we dominate at, we excel in. And it pisses me off that people sit here and allow these other people to put us down as if we are not the one that started the whole situation of humanity. And we're so passive as like people want you to believe that we're aggressive and we're angry or whatever, but we are the most forgiving, the most loving, the most nurturing of people. Because who else do you know that can be put through what we have been put through and not uprise and take over? Where else do you know that what is Louisiana saying? Shady self. Trying to get a grant. Louisiana, so silly. The voice, you don't watch a lot of these people once not sweetheart, so you won't know who I'm talking about. You don't watch a lot of these people. So even if I give you a name, but I mean you don't even watch those people. So me saying their name is not even something that is even relevant right now. It's just a bunch of people. Is not There's a bunch of who make disparaging remarks towards black people was not that they don't like, and then people let that shit slide because they like them. And a lot of them was not. are living below the poverty line, but yet let them tell it they're better than everybody. Let them tell it they're better than, everyone. But yet, they are living below the poverty line, living hand to mouth while it's not. Yeah, it's like, and the thing is, like, there's things that oppress us every day, all day long while it's not, and we still find ways to thrive, survive, and excel. But when someone of the other have, you know, one setback, they crumble and fall. And they've been given all the hand ups and handouts that's legally possible while it's not. But then next thing you know, oh my God, let's hold somebody else back. That is just ridiculous to me. Like, people, no one wants to talk about it. No one wants to address it. No one wants to act like they see it, as if, they're better than. No, you're not better than anyone. Just like I'm not better than anyone either, but I'm not less than that either. You know what I'm saying? I'm not less than you. I'm no better than you, but yet I'm not less than you either. And I refuse to allow someone to treat me that way. I choose to allow someone to respond to me that way. I refuse to allow someone to interact with me as if they are better than I am, regardless of what you have and what I don't have. I get treated the way I want to get treated, and I won't accept anything less than that treatment. And if you try to attempt to treat me anything less than how I want to be treated, what's not, I'm going to check you. I'm not going to wait for you to, what I'm saying, ask me a question, what's not. I'm just going to make sure that I do what I need to do to make sure that you understand how I need to be treated. It kills me what's not when I see people running behind someone that is, or running behind the other as if they are better than, and letting them get away with certain things. Like, what was the whole conversation yesterday that he normally had with people? Well, it's not. The whole loud talking, the whole cutting off. But no, you allow someone of the other was not coming to your platform and basically control you and down talk and, demean your panel of guests. What's up, Domain One Baby? It's just irritating when it's not, how people think that you can sit up here and just bow down and kowtow to people was not because they're not they're of another race, was now another ethnicity. And you wonder why people treat us the way they treat us was not because there's members of our culture, our own culture was not, that allows it, let them know that it's okay. It's okay to treat them that way. It's okay to talk down to us. It's okay to treat us in a way that is not cool. It wasn't there, baby. The arrogance was not there. The arrogance was not there. Very much ignorant. My 2 cents, and makes me it upsets me was not because you constantly spout off that you have all this education was not, you have all these things going on for yourself or whatever, but when it comes down to it, whatever, you bootlicking and backpedaling. So when Kwani called you a coon, very much so, the voice, you are treated the way you present yourself, and you treat it the way you know what I'm saying. But the thing is, that's not even true as well, because reality in real life was not, people will look at me and think that, oh well, he's some kind of hood boy, was not. But the reality is that's not even close to who I am. Can I be that? Yes. But the way I dress is very much that. You know what I'm saying? Always have a hat on, always have on clothes that's a little bit too big for myself, was that because I don't like showing all my body to the world because it's no one's business. You know what I'm saying? So my pants are gonna sag a little bit. My shirts are gonna be a size too big. I am gonna have a hat on. I am gonna wear some Timbs. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I dress. That's how I feel comfortable, or it's not. But to sit down and talk with me, you would never know that. But at the same time, I can throw on a 3-piece suit and go into a business meeting and have a decent conversation. So, how you present yourself was not. People just look at the physical. And can do have an opinion about world events, world finance, was not world travel, and things of that nature. But the voice you know, as we all know, as being people of the Black African American descent, people go by your appearance first. They don't give you the opportunity sometimes to even open up your mouth and say hello, how are you doing? They don't give you the opportunity to sit there and have a decent conversation with you, not to get the full aspect of a presentation of who you are or who you're representing or how you represent yourself or not. They look at you physically first, and then they either dismiss you or allow you in. So it's not always that whatever, because I'm not going to change myself to make someone else comfortable. I'm not going to sit there and try to make someone else comfortable and be extremely uncomfortable. You know, so if I choose to wear something of larger size one day and some Tim's was not, that's how I choose to dress that day. But I know how to dress when I go into an office meeting or when I go into a business meeting. Well, it's not. But if you choose to just sit there and look at me walking down the street, well, it's not. I don't know how many of you women have experienced this, was not, but being a black man of 6'3" and 200 plus pounds, walking down the street the way I dress was not, I had people cross the street from me. They had nothing to do with who I am, was not. And I could just have a smile on my face, was not. I made a video about this before, was not, why I smile and laugh and joke a lot, because people are just automatically intimidated by my sheer presence. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it's not always, so presentation is not always about, what I'm saying, how you speak to someone or how you, it's just, they feel, oh, you're a black man, you have a nice car, so therefore you must be a drug dealer or you must be a rapper. Oh, you're tall. Oh, you play ball. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that what I'm saying, graduated from college with a 3.97 GPA. It's stuff like that I'm talking about presentation. And when we don't fight towards changing that perception of ourselves was not, and correcting the misperception of ourselves, we just basically go along just to get along with that, because we don't want to cause what the fuck. Sorry that y'all phone's off the chain today. Turn this stuff down. Yes, I'm sorry. 1 second. I'll hear it again. Yeah. So if we don't change the perception of that by correcting the misconception, whatever, then we're basically part of the problem as well. That's what I'm saying. People allow people to get away with stuff by saying certain things, thinking that it's funny and it's cool because they're cool with them. That's not cool. Right. Exactly. Thought it was funny. Thought it was funny. Excuse me. What's up, the pressure cooker? How you doing? I know, right? But yeah, so it's just stuff like that kind of bothers me, whatever. I need that. Thank you. I want people to start thinking what's not outside the box, but stop looking at your own preconceived notions with that, and realize that what someone does to you pretty much affects everyone if you don't correct it, especially if it's wrong, bad behavior or wrong behavior. Like, people are going to treat you the way you want to be treated. And like I said, we was having a conversation about presentation was not, and the voice was saying that it's not just about the physical presentation; it's about also how you speak and carry yourself as well, which is very true. But at times, we know as Black people was not, we're not even given that opportunity most of the times. Based on, like, we know that if you have a name that is considered ethnic, you know, you may not get that interview regardless how qualified you are. They look at your name and just automatically put it in a do not call back file. Or they look at, what I'm saying, you walk into the office with us now, you walk into a building, wherever, what I'm saying, and unfortunately, all did, what I'm saying? Stuff like that was not. So while it is very important that we are very mindful of how we present ourselves physically and whatever, but also got to take into account that, there are people who just are naturally ignorant, for lack of any other better word. There's naturally ignorant because they don't know and they don't want to know. What's up, Nick? How you doing? I'm doing well, baby. Thank you for asking, pressure cooker. I'm good, baby. Exactly. My 2 cents. Like I mean, I have to walk into a room smiling, even when I don't want to, because I know that being 6'3" and 225 pounds was not. And so people automatically think, oh, this is this big dude was not. You know what I'm saying? That if he's not smiling, he's angry. No, I'm not angry. I don't want to smile right now. Leave me the fuck alone. Let me just come in the room and get myself antiquated first. Let me get myself adjusted to the environment I'm in, and then from there, let me open up and blossom like a fucking flower. I'm not angry just because I'm not smiling. Just let me get myself together. I'm just in a toothpaste commercial. I'm coming in smiling, grinning with you. Leave me alone. Let me fill the room out. Get my thoughts together. He don't care. As long as you don't cuss, he's fine. With whatever you say, as long as you don't cuss. Exactly, Miss Leo. Some people talk like as if they are the only one with life experiences and don't have jobs and stuff. Everyone has a fucking job. Even if you're not employed, and you're looking for a job, that's a job in itself. But if you're sitting at home eating ice and ice cream, you don't got a job. They ain't your job. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, and your credentials was not like you have to work twice as hard and work twice and be twice as good, if not more than that, just to get the same, or at least have what I'm saying, light that the others get. Ms. Leo, we're talking about the fact that yesterday when Jay Wilson had his live, you don't watch him, of course, but you know him. He had on individual named Evolving Culture. Go by Jason, I guess his name was. He's an alleged racist person, but he have said a lot of racist things in the past, especially towards black people, a lot of racist stuff. And basically, Jay Wilson allowed him to come on to his show, and basically he pretty much downed, talked about, degraded, and demeaned every other black person on that panel that was with Jay Wilson, and Jay Wilson did nothing about it. That's what we're talking about, and how the racial language and culture of this YouTube thing have been perpetuated by other black people. Was not because they allow others to do and say whatever they want to do and say without correcting that behavior. Have a good day, The Real Connection, baby. Thank you for joining me, baby. Kwani was one of them, and there was a couple other people. I mean, it's just that I just know the real tension came between Devolving Culture and Kwani because she was the one who outed him as a racist a couple months ago, and they had this back and forth thing, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then Jay Wilson asked Quanti, "What did he do to you?" Now, and her question to him was, "What did you ask him? What did Tasha K did to him for him to attack her that way?" So it was just a back and forth for us. Now, basically, I was just concentrating on those three characters. Taste test. Oh yeah, he did clown Jay Wilson too. Like he clowned who? The truth? Who's that? Oh, I'm not giving him a pass. I'm not giving him a pass at all. He did not get a pass over here. He doesn't get a pass. But the thing is, him being because we know he's not a pastor. We know that he is a liar. We know that he's broke. We know like all the things that's been said about him was not has been proven. So for me to sit here and harp on that aspect of who he is counterproductive for me. I'm talking about the fact that he allowed what he allowed last night and what he allowed on his platform last night with that. And granted, you can allow anything you want on your platform, whatever. But at the same time, don't be upset when I'm talking about it. Yeah, he always proves he's a fraud. Every day was not. Like, the thing is, you're welcome. I mean, it's just that like listen to him was not. The thing is, I don't watch him like that. But when something comes up and his channel is a place I need to go to clarify what I heard was not. I do go there. But am I gonna give him 4 hours of my time on my life? No, I'm not. I will skip through and run through and what I'm saying, and see the things that I see was not. But I'm not gonna sit here and give that man 4 hours of my time ever. It just makes no sense. Was not. And but the thing is, there's just not him. It's the people that supports the others on here as well that have done things that was disparaging towards black people. Exactly, that's what I'm saying, Missy. What I would say was that they let things fly until they get mad at you. Was that then they want to bring it up again? No, and I hold Kwani responsible as well. Was not I hold because she's not totally in the clear. Although I'm getting her protecting her right now. Was not I saying at the same time she's not totally clear because she knew how Jay Wilson is. She knows that he's all about the money. Was not, and she think that it was cool when it was beneficial to her. But now that thank me. How you doing, baby? Thank you. Appreciate that. You know, like she knew how Jay Wilson is was not, so she thought that it was cool when he was attacking people that she didn't like. But now that she feels like she was slighted, now she has a whole hour long video about it. Was not. You know what I'm saying? Like we need to stop doing that bullshit. When you see someone doing bad behavior, why not call that person out or at least put a person aside? Not saying it has to be done here on YouTube. But if you have this person's information was not, and you can contact this person was not, and y'all have that type of relationship, whatever, do that. Do it behind the scenes. Call them out. Was not and be like, no, well, what you said, what you did was not right. Why are you calling this person a roach? Why are you calling this person a monkey? Why are you allowing this to happen on your platform? Granted, you can do what you want to do, us not, but at the same time, you gotta have some type of control, some kind of something. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing, sweetheart? Wally sure did. Yes, he did. Well, I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet. Right. Let's say keep the same energy with everyone was not, regardless of who it is, male, female, black, white, whatever it can be was not. Don't come across as weak sauce when someone is, on your platform was not and doing some disparaging shit, especially when they doing it to you as well. Not only just your guests, but to you. I think it's like I think that anyone would shut old dude down was not if they came to their platform with some BS like that. You're not going to come onto my platform being an other, thinking that you're going to downplay and berate me or embarrass me or loud talk me or shut me down one way or the other. Not on my platform, you won't be doing that. You think you're going to get away with it without me checking you quickly and very, very aggressively and very, very matter of factly. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. And people are way. It makes no sense to me. I mean, it makes no sense because it's like every time you turn around, you have people, what I'm saying, complaining and whining, but yet at the same time, you turn back around. Next thing you know, they're allowing the things to happen. You can't allow someone to punch you in your face over and over and over again, what's that, and then wonder why you keep walking on with black eyes, bloody noses, and damn busted lips. Shit, protect yourself. Stop that shit. Block a punch. Shit, duck and weave, bob and weave. call Bob and use your weave. I'm just saying. Y'all know I'm silly. I threw a little joke in there. But yeah, it makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. What's up, Miss Patricia Ellington, baby? How you doing? Good morning. Thank you, Millie. I appreciate you putting that in. Yeah. What you say? What you say? Uh huh. Right. But yeah, I just want to come in for a couple minutes. It's kind of lasted longer than I wanted it to last, but it needs to come out and it needs to be said, whatever. And this is just a notice for everyone who acted out there acting stupid while it's not. Y'all will be getting called out on y'all bullshit. Stop using racial derogatory slurs towards people while it's not. If you don't want people to sit there and use racial derogatory slurs towards you, you know, be mindful while it's not. Be like you say you want everyone to get along while it's not. How can I get along with you when you calling people roaches and monkeys? I'm not going to sit here passively by and let you call people out their names or use terminology and use condescending words or what's not to try to demean people or what's not. You are no better than anyone else, as I'm no better than anyone else. Be respectful. Thing is, there will always be racism. There will always be colorism. There will always be that. There will always be that because it's just ingrained in this culture of this country. It will always be that was not. But what I say is that we as people cannot support it. We can't dictate what someone else does, but we can dictate what we do within our own culture and within our own environments. And your environment is made up of what you want it to be made up of. Like I say, I don't watch everybody on this YouTube thing. I don't care how popular your name is and how much your name is running around these streets. Well, it's not. If I watch you once and I get a bad vibe from you, and then the vibe I get from you fits the reputation that perceives you, you're done. I'm cut off from you. It's not. I'm not gonna sit here and worry about you. It's not. I'm gonna give you my time and my energy. So my environment won't be filled with stuff that I don't like and people I don't like and people I don't know, people I don't vibe with. That's just my energy. That's just who I am. I'm not gonna sit up there and watch people that I don't fuck with or fool with. Right, exactly. The world, you're absolutely right about that. When you call someone a roach was not based on what the perceived thing is of calling them ghetto was not, saying that, is that's the perceived thing. People saying, oh well, um, you know what a roach was not? No. Thing is, people want to sit here and act as if they don't know certain things. Just like if I say a redneck was not, that's a derogatory word or term towards a Caucasian person. If I say a spick or something like that, or a Jap, those are derogatory words and terms used for someone else was not. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many different things that we do and say that we don't make aware of it. Was that and then people are like, well, even that comment right there was not. This is not an attack on you, sweetheart. But well, a roach is not a racial slur, but it is. If a white person said, "Oh, to a black person that you're a roach," that is a derogatory term because you mean it in a derogatory way. It's not that someone say, "Oh, well, I saw a roach and that's a racial slur." No, it's how you use it. It's what you mean by it. Well, it's not. You never heard it before? Well, baby, it's become real prevalent, and it becomes the reality show had brought up when Kim Zolciak said that about Nene. You know what I'm saying? Said that she had roaches up in her house last night, and Nene was offended by that because it made it seem like her house was some type of hood ghetto place last night. That's what all that whole thing, a lot of that come from. Oh well, what's up, hey Van Keith? What's up? What's going on? Yeah, I went to Morehouse, sir. Sister Marie from Spelman. What year? Yeah, that's my Spelman sister. Then we're family, bruh. Yeah, I went to Morehouse. You know, it's just like that's what it is. going on here? It's a lot happening right now. I mean, a lot of things like I mean, just like from like if a black person calls another black person a coon, that's not a nice thing either, though. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, I'm much older than her. I'm much older than her. I was long gone before she even got there. Very true, the main one. Very true. But not only the voice, I think we all need to be very careful about that. Was not if someone's offended by something that is said, we can't just dismiss it because we haven't experienced it. We have to be very mindful and very, um, you know, aware. Thank you. We have to be very aware of other people's sensitivities was not, and make a conscious effort not to actually offend people was not. You know what I'm saying? I think the problem is that we get so caught up in our own experiences and our own bubbles that we don't think outside of that was not. But also, that's the caveat to that is don't think too much about it to where it makes you uncomfortable. And the whole adage of treating people the way you want to be treated is very true. You know what I'm saying? Because if I don't want to be offended, was not, I'm gonna try not to be offensive. If I want to be that I need to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be mindful was not of the language I use, the tones that I use, the dictions that I use was not, and what I say to people was not, and what I allow people to say to me and in my environment. Tammy, this right is all very disgusting, baby. It's very disgusting. But with that, the main one, the whole term bad winch was not every person, like when I use it, because you may know I did a video about someone having a bad winches mentality, and it wasn't. I hope it. I mean, it probably was, but that wasn't my term. My thing. My point was that to have that mentality to think that because I'm with someone of a other culture was not, other descent was not. You know, what I'm saying that I'm better than. It makes me better than. You know what I'm saying? So the whole term of bad witch was not. I think that while it's a degrading term, I think that when I use it and when I have said it on here, it was to say about a mentality opposed to calling someone that in itself. But does it make it right? Does it make it wrong? I don't know. Very true. You're right. 770B. Yeah, because old girl called herself a bad wench. She did call herself that, and I can't say what to call yourself and how you need to address yourself. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. It is very frustrating, was not. But the thing is, I think the conversation needs to be had with that and needs to be spoken about. And I think that when you're uncomfortable, that's when you start growing and thinking outside the box. When you're uncomfortable and you stay in that feeling of being uncomfortable, I think that a lot of us, saying, choose either not to have the discussion, or choose to what I'm saying, just be like whatever with the discussion was not, because we're over it and we're tired of it was not, and we know what it is that is true, and we just are tired of explaining ourselves. So therefore, we just choose not to have the conversation in general was not. I think it's really important that we have these type of conversations, whatever, because it broadens our own understanding, but it also lends to the fact that people who may not understand or may not get it was not can hear it a different way from different people at different points of views, which allow the conversation to be had in a more broader range and a more broader aspect. So I know it's frustrating and triggering and make you angry, things of that nature was not. I choose to continue to have it because it is basically sorry, it is basically something that needs to be had that doesn't be had because everyone either ignores it or thinks that the problem is going to solve itself if we all hold hands and sing kumbaya. No, sometimes you need to be uncomfortable in order for you to grow. You're the extinguisher, Venki. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a little bit of water. I'm a little bit of extinguisher. I'm a little bit of fire. I'm a little bit of initiator. I'm all that. Chris, what's up, Denia, baby? How you doing? Miss Leo, you are constantly the storm, baby. You are not the calm. You are not the calm. You are definitely the storm. Yeah, Miss Leo, if she's upset, she'll just be quiet for like 15, 20 minutes. She won't say nothing. So they ain't the calm. You just don't add your extra lightning bolts to the conversation sometimes, but that's not the calm. The calm is being able to articulate yourself in a way that you keep the mood mellow. And y'all know that's not what I do at times. I try to be the voice of reason and think logically and critically. The calm before the storm. Yes, the calm before the storm that you are. What's up, Ursula, baby? How you doing? Welcome, sweetheart. We're talking about Jay Wilson's the BS that happened yesterday on his panel and all this racist conversation that had but don't be had. Yeah, it's just crazy what's happening. All this racism on this line on this in the sector was not, but yet no one wants to talk about it was not until they get upset. Oh, you called me this, and you said this about me. You said that about me. Was not. No, okay. How about having it when they said about someone else? How about calling them out when they had said that about someone else? Was not. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't like old girl, or whatever. But at the same time, I'm not gonna sit here and let some other person or some other descent or some other culture was not clown her. You know, and the fact that Jay Wilson allowed it on his platform was not found really, really ridiculous. Making sure that people, I can't do it, y'all. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too frustrating for me. Can't do it. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to treat me as if I'm less than. Like I said, I'm never less than anyone. Too talented, too smart. I'm just too much to be less than anything that I want to be. You can't have a conversation without bringing up that person's name. You can't have a conversation where it's not on your own platform without bringing up some at least four people's names. You can't you cannot bring up like you can't have content going on without bringing up Tracy, Sean, Joyce, or Shelley. If there's one video in the past 6 months that they bring up one of those people's names, I don't know what conversation that was. Right, Miss Patricia. I had to watch her video just to make sure that I got everything that I need to talk about. Thank you, Lauren Keith. Appreciate it. Well, the thing is, like, I mean, while I'm the same person in real life that I'm on this line was not, but I only comment like only like y'all see me in other people people's chats. I'm not this way like I am on my platform. On my platform, I'm doing what I want to do because it's my platform. But it's in the real world and in someone else's chat was not. I'm deeply respectful and very much so. You know what I'm saying? Sit back and watch because it ain't my place to, you know what I'm saying, always comment and put my ideas out there. Was not. Sometimes I just like to, yeah, he is talk about Joyce as well. It's not my place to sit up here, you know what I'm saying, and force my opinions and my thoughts on anyone else. If you want to hear my thoughts, come to my platform and you'll hear them. Obsessed, very much so. Very much so. Makes you sick, literally. you know, I don't give him that much power. You can do it, Ursula. You can do it, baby. Like I said, I didn't watch the whole 4 hours because I don't have that kind of time. I was watching this time stuff last night, and I was just kind of like going a little bit before and a little bit after just to make sure I was getting what I need. And then I went around to hear what actually like Quanti said and what Tracy said was not, and how, you know what I'm saying, not what they thoughts were, but just to hear what actually happened throughout the times I didn't see everything. I'm just like, this man is just ridiculous. What's up, Tanya, baby? Save me a cupcake. And y'all, let's wish Tanya good luck on her baking championship or her cook off or bake off next week. Is it right next week, right? So good luck, Tanya, baby. You're gonna win. We already claim it for you. We already claim it for you. Yeah, Kwani's still around. It's next week. Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, Kwani, like Kwani comes in and out. Kwani's always in the bushes. She's probably in the bushes over here. She's always in the bushes. Was not lurking and looking. Oh, okay. Well, we'll save up all this luck for you from now until October 22nd. We'll be setting up all this luck until now until the 22nd of October. But yeah, it's been kind of like on top of everything else that happened last night and yesterday. That was just too much. That was just something that I needed to give it its own video for because the whole racism and racist thing and the whole calling black people calling other black people racist. Like, come on now, stop being ignorant. We can't be racist people. We don't have the power to be racist. We can be prejudiced all day long, but we're not racist. You know, understand and use terminology correctly. Please understand and use terminology correctly. Oh, you be doing lives on the contest? Yay! I can't wait. I love watching those shows, like Halloween Wars on the Food Network, stuff like that, and Baking Championships. I love those type of shows. But yeah, like, I mean, I'm supposed to tell you, oh, well, that's just racist. No, stupid. It's not racist if a black person say something. Um, we all have that side of prejudice in us. We all have that. It doesn't always have to be something about a race thing. Wants not to be prejudice. You have prejudice. If you break the word down, is to prejudge, and a lot of us prejudge people. People who are maybe heterosexual may prejudge a homosexual person. People may be skinny may prejudge a fat person. Sorry, a person of larger size, I should say. A person who, you know what I'm saying? People, different hair textures judge each other's hair was not. You know what I'm saying? We all judge. We all prejudge. It's all prejudice. Yeah, I'm definitely prejudiced. I'm definitely prejudiced. The thing is, that's what I'm saying. Like, we need to be more honest with ourselves, so therefore we can be honest with the world. For you to think that I'm going to sit back and see someone who is dirty and homeless and not prejudge them was not. I'm going to do that was not. My prejudging may be wrong, but I mean, I'm not gonna try. I'm trying not to let it affect how I treat the person was not. But I'm gonna have a thought in my mind like, ooh, what the hell happened? Ooh, they must be lazy. Ooh, they must stink. You know what I'm saying? That's just who we are as human beings. Everyone exactly. Everyone is prejudiced, and it's just like just like I said, honesty is something that we need to start doing with ourselves because we can't sit up here and think that the world is all rainbows and cookies. It's not. You know, I'm very honest with myself, so therefore I allow me to be honest with you guys. So when I say stuff like, "Oh, I'm prejudiced," well, it's not. It is not. That's not a bad thing. It's just a human thing because we all are. We all have that prejudice in us. We all prejudge people. That we all prejudge things. Y'all heard was not the fact that someone say, "Oh yeah, I don't like that food." Oh, have you ever ate it? No, but I know I don't like it. You are prejudging that food without even tasting or trying it. See, Tanya, that's all I'm gonna say was not the whole thing of treat people the way you want to be treated was not. That's great, but how about treating people better than you want to be treated was not? Because what if you don't have a high self worth or a high self value? So therefore, you know what I'm saying. If you don't give a shit about yourself, well, it's not. Don't treat me like you don't give a shit about me. Treat me better than that, and I'm gonna treat you. You know what I'm saying, extremely well. At least I'm gonna try to at least. Yeah, I hate that. Oh, we all the one race, the human race. Okay, that's cute. Well, it's not. If you're Jane Elliott, y'all know who Jane Elliott is, right? That's the old white lady. Was not that be schooling white people on their racism. Was not. I love me some Jane Elliott. She gets them right together. She gets them right together. She's the one who did the brown eye blue eye experiment back in the 50s, 60s during that time. She gets them right together. She gets them right together. Right. Reach one, teach one. What's up, Distinctly, baby? Distinctly, boo. What happened yesterday, baby? Woo! Y'all had these. Y'all had these streets on fire. Y'all had these streets on fire. Distinctly, baby. Whew, y'all had the streets on fire. Y'all had these streets on fire. But yeah, I love me some Jane Elliott. She gets them right together. Every second like chance to get to. I like the one interview with her and Roland Martin. I like, go ahead, Jane Elliott. And all he could do is sit back there and look at her and watch and laugh. She was the calm. She was the calm. She was the calm. You mind your business, baby, till they call for you. That what happens. I was afraid to leave my job to go to my car without a damn escort. Shit, I thought somebody was gonna come after me. It was a mess. It was a mess. It was a mess. What time is it? It's still kind of early, but yeah, you guys. I want to thank you for joining me, you guys, once again. Everything that I say is not for people to digest in its totality. Eat the meat and spit out the bones. Take in what nourishes you, what makes you better, what keeps you sane. Take in that and discard the rest. Not everything is meant for you to take in its totality. I want to thank you guys once again for being here with me. I need to get myself up and get ready for work. You guys, I want to thank you. Love you guys. Y'all have a great day. What's up, JL? How you doing, baby? Yeah, take it like like people like to take in every single thing and then get upset because they're upset by what you say. Well, you have control over what you take in. You have control over what you listen to. You have control over what you ingest. Just like with food, if you don't like something with that, don't take it in. Don't ingest it. You have every right to be upset, but at the same time, don't get mad at me because you chose to take something in that wasn't meant for you. Don't get mad at me because you chose to act or react. I should say react in a way to something that was not meant for you. If it doesn't help you be better, well, it's not. Move on. Let it go. But like I always tell you guys, eat the meat and spell the bones. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the conversations that we have, the interaction that we have. I appreciate that. You guys, as always, love yourself, love someone else, respect yourself, and please definitely respect someone else, you guys. And also demand respect from people. Don't ask for it, demand it. Y'all, until next time, I will talk to you later. I love you guys. Have a great day. Until then, peace, you guys. Mwah!